Okay, everyone, from that clickety clack sound, it's time for TV Oblivion, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 27, season 2. Today's date is January 10th, 2023, and here is today's lineup for the show. From the 1940s, I will talk about the children's television show, The Singing Lady. From the 1950s, it will be the action drama Captain Gallant and the Foreign Legion. From the 1960s, the animated series Captain Fathom. From the 1970s, the television sitcom The Bob Crane Show. From the 1980s, the crime drama Detective in the House. From the 1990s, the TV sitcom Bonnie. And from the 2000s, I think it's a TV drama Close to Home. That's from the 2000s. Sorry about that. Okay, we'll get started right now. But first, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by The Game of Life from Parker Brothers. I remember this commercial very well. And so if I play the commercial, a lot of people my age or older will remember this very well. So sit back and enjoy it. I'll be right back with the program. Thank you, everyone.
I made $50,000 in the stock market today. I had twins. I went to the poor farm. I'm on Millionaire Acres. That's life.
The game of life. The game of life. You will learn about life when you play the game of life. First you start out with 2,000 and a car.
I got a car.
You got a car. Then you may go straight to college just to get a lot of knowledge.
Harvard.
Or to business if you think you'll go as far.
I'll be a star.
You may go far. The game of life. The game of life.
Pay me. I'll get revenge.
You'll get revenge.
I got revenge.
Got revenge. Milton Bradley makes the best games in the world. So play the game of life.
That's life.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for the board game, The Game of Life. Give you a little brief history of this game. It was created in 1860 by Milton Bradley. It was called The Checker Game of Life, first board game ever, and they called it the parlor game back then, like that. And let's see. And then in 1960, they changed it, and they had some differences from the game. I remember the commercial where you want to choose if you want to go to college or not go to college or just open your own business. And I remember that very well. And they had a wheel and you spin it. And I won't go into real detail of the game. Then in 1991, Hasbro, the toy company, acquired the game from Milton Bradley, and it's still there to this day. So if you're in the mood for a board game or take it back, help yourself. It's available probably Walmart or Target, or you can order on Amazon. If you're that nostalgic. I'm sure it's changed over the years, so I'm sure it has. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I read the lineup for today's show, so we're going to get started. Okay, and the first show I'm going to talk about is the children's TV program, The Singing Lady. I never heard of this show, which was quite interesting. And this premiered on ABC on August 12th, 1948, ended August 6, 1950. The star of the show, her name, it was a woman. Her name was Irene Wicker. And this started on radio. And let's see. And she Let's see. The announcer of the show, his name was Bob Dixon, and he assumed the character of Mister Mittens. He was on the program. He performed magic tricks. I'd love to see that. And there was also some marionettes, some puppets called the Suzari Marionettes, and they enacted fairy tales from the program. They did that, and Irene Wicker supplied all the character voices. Most of the time it was her. That's quite interesting. She was she did hands-on experience on that. And let's see, what else? And then the program was sponsored by Kellogg's cereal. They did that. They had a little trouble with the program because during the early 50s they had the red channels. If you're suspect of communism, I won't go into real detail about that. And Irene Wicker her name was on the list, and it was published, and she denied everything. She had nothing to do with that. But the show was canceled anyway because of ratings, not because of that scandal. She didn't do that at all. Unfortunately, there's no theme song for the singing lady available, so I can't provide that. But I'll talk a little bit about Irene Wicker, the hostess of the show. She was born Irene Seaton on November 24th, 1905. She's not just an actress, she was a singer, and she did, like I said before, she was a singing lady on a radio program. And the funny thing is, she spelled Irene with two E's in the middle. So it's Iree and E. And the funny thing is, she got that advice from an astrologer. Okay. She was born in Quincy, Illinois, my home state, and she studied music and drama at the University of Illinois, and she studied at the Goodman School of Theater in Chicago. Oh, I didn't know that. And she performed at the theater as well. And like I said before, the radio show did the same thing as the television show. And, it carried over that. And let's see what else. And then after she left the show, she started another show called Little Lady Storytime, and sort of the same thing as that. Maybe I'll do a podcast episode about that series. And then she got married, and then she quit show business, and then she divorced her first husband, then she married her second one, and then she passed away November 17th, 1987. It was in Florida. She was 81 years old. So if someone mentioned her name, they won't remember her at all. But she was one of the earliest TV hostesses of a children's program. So that's interesting. It really is. I'll do, maybe I'll do some research about her, maybe read more about her biography and the TV shows she hosted and starred in. Okay. Next up, from the 1950s, we have Captain Gallant or Captain Gallant of the Foreign Legion. And this starred Buster Crabbe. And it was a half-hour show. This premiered February 13th, 1955, ended December 7th, 1957, ran for 65 episodes, ran for 2 seasons on NBC, black and white. And this is about Buster Crabbe in the Foreign Legion. And the cast, what's unusual about this show, it was not filmed in Hollywood, it was filmed in Morocco. So this is one of the few TV shows at the time in the 1950s that filmed on location elsewhere. And let's see, so in the cast, they had his son was in the show. It was Cullen Crabbe. He played the Legion mascot. I don't know if he had a name. And Buster Crab had a sidekick played by actor Fuzzy Knight, and he was in a lot of movies in the old days. He was like a sidekick in probably westerns and dramas like that. So that's very interesting. Like that, and after it went off the air, it was syndicated for a while, but became very popular. Probably aired Saturday mornings like that. So right now I'm going to play the theme song for Captain Gallant of the Foreign Region. When I come back, I'll talk about a little. I'm sorry, I'm going to talk a little bit about Buster Crab. So this will be interesting. Okay, so sit back and enjoy the theme song of the show. Thank you, everyone. Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for Captain Gallant or Gallant and the Foreign Legion. Here's a little info about Buster Crab. His real name was Clarence Lyndon Crab II, and he was born February 7th, 1908. And he was an American two-time Olympic swimmer. And he was in the 1932 Olympics. He won the gold medal for the freestyle swimming event. Excuse me. Then he starred in the movies, and we all know him from Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers, from those serials. I watched a few on TV when I was little. They were fun to watch. I really did. And he also starred as Tarzan in the movie Tarzan and the Fearless. He did that. And let's see what else. Also, I found a little more information about that TV show, Captain Gallant in the Foreign Legion. His character's name was Michael Gallant, or that you could say, and his son, Cullen Crab, his character's name was Cuffy Sanders. Okay, and I remember one weird commercial that Buster Crab did. I think it was like something you stretch. It's called the bull something. I got to look that up. And this was in the 70s. He looked like he was in great shape. I mean, he really took care of himself. He probably did running, exercises, ate well. He was really into physical fitness like that. And he did appear in the TV series of Buck Rogers, the one in 1979 that starred Gil Gerard. I can't say his name. And like I said, he did a lot of movies and television, and then he passed away on April 23rd, 1983, at the age of 75 in Scottsdale, Arizona. So a lot of people still remember him as Flash Gordon. And I remember when they did the movie, I think it came out in 1980, they honored him for that. I don't know if he was in it. I don't think so. I think I saw it briefly. So I didn't know he had this TV show. I guess I forgot all about it, and I've never seen it. But there are episodes available on YouTube if you care to watch. Okay, next up we got is from the 1960s, the animated TV series Captain Fathom. I vaguely remembered this one, and it was, but when I started watching, I go, yeah, I remember watching this when I was little. And it premiered in 1965. It had 26 30-minute episodes, but it was broken down in 5 minutes. So, and it was like the TV series Clutch Cargo and Space Angel, with cartoons with the lips moving. It was produced by Synchrovox. And, they had 5-minute segments in cliffhanger format like that. And the plot of the show was Captain Bill Fathom was a captain of the submarine called the Argonaut. And him and his crews were similar to either Clutch Cargo or Johnny Quest. I love those two shows. They're hilarious like that. And let's see what else. Okay, so right now I'm going to play the theme song really quickly. And then when I come back, I'll talk about a little bit more about the show. Just a little bit more. There's not much information about the show. Okay, so thank you, everyone.
Captain Fathom. Thunderfire Island.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I found out a little more information about the show, Captain Fathom, that is. His crew members were named Cookie, Ronnie, Scotty, Miss Perkins, and Flip the Porpoise. I don't know about bad guys. I'm not sure about that. But you can find this show on YouTube. You find that. And also, it's on DVD. If you're a DVD collector of TV programs like myself, you can purchase it. They're available on Amazon, Walmart, whatever you can find. Usually, the best place to find this is Amazon. You would find that. I don't know if all the episodes are available. Check it out. Help yourself. And I think I remember watching this on, if you're from Chicagoland area, Garfield, Goose, and Friends, hosted by Fraser Thomas. He used to showcase cartoons. He used to show Clutch Cargo and Space Angel. I think he included this one. I think he did. Yeah, I don't know. I have this familiar feeling. I'm sure he did that. Okay. Next up, I will talk about the 1975 TV sitcom, The Bob Crane Show, is from the 1970s, and I remember this show, and it was heavily promoted. So I'll talk a little bit of history of this. It premiered March 6, 1975, ended June 12, 1975, ran for 14 episodes, one season on NBC. Starred actor Bob Crane, best known as Colonel Hogan from Hogan's Heroes. And after Hogan's Heroes went off the air in about 1971, I don't know what he did over there. He did guest spots on other shows. I remember one particular show that I liked was Night Gallery. And one episode was called House with Ghost. It starred Joanne Worley. He played his wife. And, you have these actors that were funny, but they were serious, and that looked kind of strange, but they were wonderful. But so that's that was a good segment. And I have it on Blu-ray, DVD, excuse me. I haven't bought the Blu-ray yet. So the Bob Crane Show, Bob Crane starred as Bob Wilcox, a man in his 40s, and he quits his job as an insurance salesman, and he returns to medical school. Yeah. And in the cast was actress Patricia Hardy. He played his wife, Ellie Wilcox, and she was the breadwinner of the family while Bob was in school. The show didn't do very well in the ratings. And the rest of the cast consisted of Erica Peddle as Pam Wilcox. I think that's their daughter. Also, James Sutorius as Jerry Mallory. I remember him from Dynasty. Yeah, and there was Todd Sussman, excuse me, as Marvin Sussman. He was in a lot of TV shows, a lot of commercials, a lot of commercials. You know, he was a funny man. That and let's see. Also in the cast was Jack Fletcher as Dean Lyle Ingersoll and Ronnie Graham as Ernest Busso. And I remember this show. Like I said, it was heavy promoted. Think I watched one episode when it aired, and I was very little, so I could tell it wasn't that great. Not really. Um, it was a flop, and then it went into TV oblivion. So right now I'm going to play the theme song of the Bob Crane Show. And when I come back, I'll talk about a little bit about Bob Crane, what he did after, okay, and a little of his biography, okay. So sit back and enjoy the theme song, everyone. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for the Bob Crane Show. Talk a little bit about the actor. He was born Robert Edward Crane on July 13th, 1928. He was not just an actor, he was a drummer and disc jockey. And he's well known for his role as Colonel Robert Hogan on Hogan's Heroes. Before that, he was on the Donna Reed Show, and he played a doctor. I saw a few episodes of that on Nick at Night, and he was good in that. I liked it. But he was starring in Donna Reed, and then he hosted his radio show. So he went back and forth, and he did that. But I wish he stayed. He was pretty good. I remember him from the Dick Van Dyke Show. He did a guest role. He was funny in that. And then in 1965, he was offered the role as Colonel Robert Hogan in Hogan's Heroes, and that show's a classic. I love the show. I really did. I used to watch reruns. I have the show on DVD. And after Hogan's Heroes, he did dinner theater, and then he got offered the role for the Bob Crane Show. He did a few movies. He did Superdad for Disney, Walt Disney. I remember that, and also in Gus with the mule that kicked the football. I have it on DVD. That movie's funny. I like that. And then, unfortunately, he passed away in 1978. He was murdered, and it's very morbid. I won't discuss how it happened because it went on for years, and he had a very sordid life, and very dark, very dark life. Like, who knew about this? I was like, whoa, that's awful like that. And then they made a movie about that, his life and the murder, in the 2002 feature Autofocus, and that starred Greg Kinnear as Crane, as Bob Crane, that is. And I liked the movie, but it was kind of disturbing in a way, watching him become, Colonel Hogan, and it touched his personal life very well. So, oof. So, I don't know if it did well in the box office. Probably it did, but I don't know if his family were involved with that. Maybe they were. I'm not sure. But yes and no. I'm not sure about that. So Bob Crane is a classic TV actor, and his TV show, The Bob Crane Show, fell into TV oblivion. It's a shame. If he, I think. Oh, one last thing about the show, he complained the lack of chemistry with the supporting characters. Maybe that was the reason. Maybe he wanted. He said he wanted to be like the Mary Tyler Moore Show or Bob Newhart Show. He needed like good character actors. Maybe it would have worked. Maybe it would have. That's a shame. Okay. Next up, we have Detective in the House. And this was a hour-long drama. This premiered on March 15th, 1985. Ended April 19th, 1985, very briefly on CBS. Ran for one season, 6 episodes. And it starred Judd Hirsch. And he was the premise of the show was his character's name was Press Wyman. He's a successful engineer and he becomes a private detective with the assistance of retired PI Nick Turner. And I think Dukes of Hazzard was going off the air, and this replaced it in mid-season, I think, because it aired on Friday nights right before Dallas and Falcon Crest. And also in the cast, I'll read off the cast. We have Judge Hirsch as Press Wyman. We have Jack Elam as Nick Turner. Oh, he was in a lot of shows. Westerns, sitcoms, very reliable supporting actor. Also, there was Cassie Yates as Diane Wyman, Amanda Ingberg as Deborah Wyman, Mino Pelus as Todd Wyman, which is Soleil Frymoon's half-brother. You remember him from Voyagers? And R.J. Williams as Dunk Wyman. Okay. So I never saw the show, but I remember the promo. I remember this very vaguely. And right now I'm going to play the theme song for Detective in the House. When I come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about Judge Hirsch. Okay, he's one of my favorite actors. I like him. So sit back and enjoy, everyone. Thank you.
Everybody's got some kind of dream. Helps them make it through the dull routine. Man, you got a hot one. You keep inside. You wanna let it out. I can see it in your eyes. What are you waiting for? There's no way that you can lose. What are you waiting for? Find that better half of you. Stand up and tell the world your dream won't be ignored. And you're not waiting anymore. You gotta stand up and tell the world your dream won't be ignored. And you're not waiting anymore.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for Detective in the House. I'll talk a little bit about Judd Hirsch. He's one of my favorite actors. He's famous for his role as Alex Rieger in the classic TV sitcom Taxi. He was there from the beginning to the end. Also, as John Lacey, and the other sitcom, Dear John. I like that show too. He's also in Numbers, that was on CBS. I think that starred with Rob Morrow from Northern Exposure. He was good at it. But he did, his movie roles was in Ordinary People. He was good in that. And a lot of movies he did. And he's still acting to this day. That's wonderful. He really is. He makes me fun. Sometimes he makes me laugh. I don't know why. But I liked him in Taxi. I really did. He was the how would I say, the normal one mostly of there, the like the father figure, the someone you would look up to. He was that. And I don't have the show on DVD. I want to buy it one day. I really do. I want to revisit the show because it had a good cast, with Danny DeVito, Christopher Lloyd, Andy Kaufman. Oh, he's a strange guy. Mary Lou Henner, very pretty lady. We'll see about that. Okay. Next up we have is Bonnie, starring Bonnie Hunt. Okay. This is getting a little confusing about this. So here we go. This is a sitcom starring actress Bonnie Hunt. It premiered on September 22nd, 1995, ended April 21st, 1996, aired on CBS, aired for one season, 13 episodes. And her character's name was Bonnie Kelly, and she was a TV reporter who moves from Wisconsin to take a job at a local TV station in Chicago. And she encounters an eclectic group of co-workers. Sounds familiar. It sounds like Mary Tyler Moore in a way, like that. And she would interview real people and do features on the news and all that. And part of the cast was, I'll read off the cast. We have Mark Derwin as Bill Kirkland, Brian Howe as Sammy Sinatra, Don Lake as Keith Jedzik, Tom Virtue as Tom Van Duzer, and Holly Wortell as Holly Jablonski. Didn't do well in the ratings, and first it was called The Bonnie Hunt Show, and then when it was removed after 6 episodes, they renamed it to Bonnie to improve the ratings. It didn't work, and she did another sitcom called The Building, and the cast members of let's see, Don Lake, Tony Virtue, and Holly Wortell were in the building as well. They were in there, and it was produced by David Letterman, his Worldwide Pants production company. And then the other sitcom following after Bonnie was Life with Bonnie, but that aired on ABC and featured the same characters that I just mentioned. And only Tom Virtue did not go to that one. Only the two I mentioned were Mark Derwin and Holly Wortell. So that's a shame. It's kind of weird. I love Bonnie Hunt. I really do. She's very funny. She's very nice. So right now I'm going to play the theme song of Bonnie. When I come back, I'll talk a little bit about Bonnie Hunt. Okay, everyone? So sit back and enjoy. Thank you. Okay, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for Bonnie. I'm going to talk about a little bit about Bonnie Hunt. She was born in Chicago. Her real name, full name, Bonnie Hunt. She was in a lot of movies, including Rayman, Beethoven's Second, Jumanji, Jerry Maguire, The Green Mile, Cheaper by the Dozen, and Cheaper by the Dozen 2. Wow, lots of it. And she did voice work for Bugs Life, Zootopia, and Monsters Inc. Isn't that something? And she starred in other sitcoms in Grand and Davis Rules. Yeah, and she hosted she had the talk show, The Bonnie Hunt Show, and that ran from 2008 to 2010. I remember this show. I watched the talk show. I liked it. She was great in that. She really was. And I don't know, she couldn't find something that stuck. Like that. So I don't know what happened. And, so, I hope she finds something really successful. But, she's a character actress and she had her own talk show. So she's very talented. But I like her anyway. She's funny and she's very nice. Okay. Last show I'm going to talk about today is from the 2000s, the TV drama Close to Home. I vaguely remember this show, so I will describe as much as I can. So here we go. This premiered on CBS October 4th, 2005, ended May 11th, 2007, ran for 2 seasons, 44 episodes. And let's see, that starred Jennifer Finnegan as Annabeth Chase, I say. I think that's her name. And she's best known as Bridge Forrester from the soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. So the plot was she was a criminal prosecutor, and she was like Perry Mason in a way, but she lost 3 cases, while she was in court. And let's see. So in the cast I have is Kimberly Elise as Maureen Schofield. We also have Christian Kane as Jack Chase. He only appeared in the first season. He was killed off in the second. Also, John Carroll Lynch as Stephen Sharp, and he was only there in 1 season. In season 2, we have John Seda. He played Ralph Blackwell. John Carroll Lynch played Stephen Sharp. I forgot to say his name, the character's name. Cress Williams, he played Detective Ed Williams. He's famous for Jefferson, I forgot his last name, from Black Lightning. I love Black Lightning. That was a good superhero movie. Also, there was David James Elliott as James Conlon. He joined the cast of season 2. We also know him from Jag. And also, one episode, Jessica Chastain, I'm sorry, I can't say her name. She starred in 1 episode. She was pretty good in that. Also, other guest stars were Bruce Davison, that is, as defense attorney Doug Hellman, and also McKinley Freeman as William Harding, season 1. Okay. In season 1, he starred in. And it did very well in the ratings. Not too bad. But then all of a sudden they canceled it. They yanked it. I don't know why. Who knows? Right now I'm going to play I'm not going to play a theme song. I'm going to play the promo of the show. I couldn't find the theme song. So just listen in and enjoy. And I'll be right back with more about the show. Thank you, everyone.
I want to be a mommy, and I want to work. I want everything.
You're a great lawyer.
While the toughest cases entrust her with the scales of justice.
Creeps don't scare me. It's the so-called decent guys. They're the ones who scare me. I know you don't like reporting to me, but you're gonna have to get used to it.
Her family hangs in the balance.
I have to pick up my kid from the sitters in an hour. I need to go home, fix dinner, do laundry.
Annabeth, just keep an open mind. That's all I'm asking.
If I tell you what really happened, will you put my daddy in jail?
You bet I will.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the promo of the Close to Home. I don't know much about the show. I remember the promos, but I never actually seen it, so that's a shame like that. But like I said before, it did well in the ratings, and then they yanked it, and then they killed off the husband, in the first season, which was bizarre. And her husband was killed by a drunk driver in the first season finale, and Annabeth was going through a lot of grief and all that, and she became a single parent throughout the second season. So maybe that's what happened. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So we have a short episode this time. So I'll do a recap of what I talked about today. So here we go. In the 1940s, I talked about The Singing Lady from the 1950s. The Singing Lady was a children's television program, excuse me, from the 1950s. The action series Captain Gallant from the 1950s. Let me say that again. From the 1950s, Captain Gallant and the Foreign Legion. From the 1960s, we have the animated TV series Captain Fathom. From the 1970s, the TV sitcom The Bob Crane Show. From the 1980s, the crime drama series Detective in the House. From the 1990s, the television sitcom Bonnie Hunt. And from the 2000s, Close to Home, the TV drama. So, I don't do TV Oblivion, the podcast, very often. So I'll have another episode probably this weekend. We'll see. I'll do some more research. People ask me, where can I find your podcast? I tell them, you can find them wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, even Breaker, Stitcher, Overcast. Also, it's on my YouTube channel, TV Oblivion. You can find it there. On my YouTube channel, excuse me. And I'll post it on my social media accounts, Facebook and Twitter. On Facebook, I have a Facebook page, and a Facebook group. So you can find it there. Okay. So this is Pico Stein, your host of TV Oblivion, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Right now, I'm going to play the Plick and Pluck song. That means that the show is ending. It's the end of that. So take care, everyone, and I hope to hear from you soon. So long, everyone. Bye-bye.